Connecting Dhaka tonight live for the first time on the Newshour with Guwahati, Lucknow, Delhi, Hyderabad. We have Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP taking on Abid Rasool Khan of the Congress, Colonel R.S.N. Singh formerly with the RAW, Atul Kumar Anjan of the Communist Party of India, Gaurav Bhati of the Samajwadi Party, Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharya from Guwahati in the Northeast, advisor of the All Assam Students Union. I'd first like to go across to Shamia Zamam, who's editor and the CEO of Ekattor TV. Ms. Zamam, thank you very much. It's good to have Dhaka live on the Newshour. I'd like to say this now that this is the first time we have a live link with Dhaka on the program. We hope to see much more of that. Thank you for joining me. Now, do you think, how do you think Dhaka is going to take this, Ms. Zamam? The fact that India is going to be tough on visa norms.
Thank you very much. I have to be... Yes, thank you very much. I have to say the mood, you were talking about a massive row which broke out in India, but in Bangladesh it's more kind of like a resigned acceptance because there has been a history of Indian government promising a lot and not being able to deliver. And the India-Bangladesh relationship where it is now, generally there is a lot of hope and happiness that the new foreign minister has chosen to come to Dhaka in her first foreign visit, but like I said, there is a kind of a resigned acceptance that India will not be delivered on the promise of more free movement of people between the two countries.
Wait, just one quick follow-up on that. Ms. Zamam, do you think it would have been practical for India, given the large-scale illegal infiltration into India, illegal immigration and infiltration to India from your country to India, do you think it would have been practical to give visa-free entry to all those under the age of 18 and above the age of 65? I'm not even looking at this politically, Ms. Zamam.
Goswami, are you talking? Yeah. Are you talking as a journalist or are you talking as a India, some ministry spokesperson here? Because this illegal infiltration and the numbers, you know, it's heavily disputed. And in previous regime, we have seen there was a, the pushback attempt and how it is not sustainable under any international law or even within the local law of India. Quite apart from that, a visa-free regime is the way the world is moving forward. And we saw Mr. Narendra Modi's election campaign very minutely because Bangladesh was an issue there from time to time. And from what I understand as a journalist, that he is promising development and progress for India and as a side effect for this region also. I believe open mind, open arms will be more helpful for that developmental path he's promising for India rather than closing the doors.
Yeah, I agree with you. Open minds, open hearts, and probably what you're saying is also open borders. But Ms. Zamam, the worry in India is this, and we have to go by some available official figures on this.
I could have flown to Mumbai.
No, one sec. Some of the figures, and since I have no independent way of saying these figures are wrong, they cause some concern. For example, our figures which we have here are that between 2001 and 2011, there were 1.35 lakh people from Bangladesh who were intercepted officially without a valid visa. Now, had this not been the case, Ms. Zamam, it would have perhaps set the stage for saying that we can ease visa restrictions. But because these figures exist, I mean, as journalist to a journalist, you'd appreciate the assessment would be that the political establishment in India would find it very difficult to, leave alone the BJP's line before, they would find it very difficult to justify opening up the borders. But can I, with your permission, and I can have this conversation with you?
As a journalist, they expect...
Yes. But if we exclude the politicians,
probably more from BJP as they're promising business.
Yeah. But you know, Ms. Zamam, if we keep the politicians and others out, then we are going to have a lot of unhappy people saying there's a journalist in Mumbai and one in Dhaka who are happy talking to each other and keeping all of us out. So with your permission, I'd like to go across first on this to Sudhanshu Trivedi, who is the national spokesperson of the BJP. Sudhanshu Trivedi, with respect, I mean, two ministries can't decide what to do. MEA says go soft, open up the borders. Ministry of Home Affairs says no, tighten up. We thought the BJP made up its mind. It can't even make up its mind on an issue even within the government. What kind of a signal are we sending to Bangladesh and across the country?
No, there is nothing of, you can say, some sort of confusion. There is nothing like confusion. I want to make it very clear. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, we want a very cordial and good relationship with Bangladesh, and the government of Bangladesh has also taken some positive steps to improve and conducive atmosphere towards India. But as far as this policy is concerned, this was a proposal came from Bangladesh, which has been in a way forwarded by Ministry of External Affairs to Home Ministry for judging the security concerns and others. And on this issue, going through thoroughly in the security concerns and the reports, whether it was from the Bodo area or from other areas of India, related many security events happened in the recent years. And as per the policy of the BJP,
are you saying the Ministry of External Affairs? No, 1 second. The Ministry of External Affairs does not look at security considerations in the first place. The point which emerges, and this is really the worrying fact,
as far as the internal security is concerned,
no, the Ministry of External Affairs,
internal security is concerned, it is the domain of Home Ministry.
Oh,
it
really?
is not the domain of External Affairs Ministry.
So
External Affairs Ministry can just take the proposal from foreign country, but as far as the internal security is concerned, obviously they will send it to Home Ministry. And on this issue, Home Ministry has to take the decision, and Home Ministry has taken a decision.
No, so this is remarkable.
To take this decision. This was based on certain facts. I would like to quote, in 2006, when Supreme Court of India has quashed the IMDT Act, they have used a phrase, this problem of Bangladeshi infiltration amounts to external aggression over India.
So then why did the MEA propose this in the first place? Why do you raise the expectations of people in Bangladesh? Shamia Zamam, I think, wants to also, I saw that Ms. Zamam did not agree in Dhaka, and I will be a little disproportionately fair to our guest from Dhaka today.
For security,
yes, please.
For security, we have noticed, you have noticed that how the cooperation between the two governments actually brings so much more fruitful result. You talk about Assam Ulfa, any other kind of security problem that has arisen, Bangladesh government in recent time, we have all seen that have taken a very strong stand against terrorism and that kind of activity. And there is a lot of cooperation, there has been a lot of cooperation, and I really do hope the cooperation will continue as far as security is concerned. And I find it very kind of flippant idea that the people who are going to plan these anti-state activities are going to use the visa-free regime to go between two countries.
There you are, so
they are already using money and other kind of influence, other kind of things to do their nefarious acts. This visa-free regime is primarily for people who want to go for medical, education, recreation, even to go to India to watch a cinema. I mean, that should be encouraged. Security concerns will be dealt or tackled with in different ways through cooperation, not through hostility.
I take your point. I'm only getting in. I'm getting in.
That's why in the.
Okay, Sudhanshu Trivedi.
That's why in my first statement I have said that we appreciate the initiatives of the present Bangladesh government. But situation has not aroused to such situation that we can allow free visa. This is the structured view of the Home Ministry and the Government of India.
Sir, I don't think there's a structured view emerging in this case. I think what's emerging is a lot of internal confusion. I'd like to get in Abid Rasool Khan at this point. Abid Rasool Khan, immediate criticism of the government's policies, but are you being realistic about the figures on illegal immigration from Bangladesh, or are you only scoring a political point?
Arnab, this is not a political point, but as you have seen my friend Mr. Trivedi, his argument holds no water at all. When he says that a proposal has come and it was immediately sent to Home Ministry for an approval, so that means that the Ministry of External Affairs does not apply its mind to any proposal which comes from a foreign country.
I would like to make it clear, not for approval. There was nothing for approval.
Let me. Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. I heard you patiently. Give me a minute.
You are saying wrong. It was not for approval. It was not for approval. No ministry.
Whatever wrong or right, you have to hear it.
Sir, I'm sorry. Sir, I'm sorry. No, 1 second. You're going to. There's a paper I have with me. You can't say it's not for approval. Nowadays, I have these documents so that none of you can. It is certainly for approval. The Ministry of External Affairs note is with me. Yes. It says at the very bottom, let's invite the attention. It says these references may please be treated as most immediate. Exactly. It also says please furnish a response positively by the 13th of June 2014.
Response, exactly.
Right? So please, you did send it for approval. You didn't get the approval is another thing. Yes, Mr. Rasool, please continue.
Yeah, let me complete it. Now we have seen that, as you have rightly said, in the last 1 month we have seen total lack of coordination between ministries. Now in this particular case there is no coordination between the Ministry of Home Affairs and External Affairs. Earlier we have seen there is no coordination between the Ministry of Defence and this ministry headed by General V.K. Singh on the issue of Army Chief. Before that, on the issue of Mr. Gadkari again objecting to the solar panel.
Can we stay to the subject, Mr. Khan?
You don't have a group of ministers. Yeah, I'm coming. When you don't have a group of ministers, these things are bound to happen. When you criticize the group of ministers and remove it, you are in for it when your two ministries are not on the same panel. Now, as far as Bangladesh issue is concerned, we have been very clear. We are for friendly relations. And as a matter of fact, I would like to point out on your channel, BJP spokesperson has said that anybody who is coming through an airport is welcome into this country. So how can they go back on their own version and old stand and say that the people who are coming through an airport...
No, where do you stand? Do you have a position at all or not, Mr. Khan, or is your position just to criticize the BJP? No, do you have any position of your own?
I have a position that whoever... Yes, let me complete. I am saying that anybody who comes legally into the country through an airport with a visa...
Do you want an easing of visa norms or not? Please answer correctly. Do you want an easing of visa norms or not?
Yes, we want an easing of visa norm with proper procedures and proper documentation.
No, so you want to go against the position of your own government in parliament taken by the Minister of State for Home, Mullapalli Ramachandran, in the Rajya Sabha, when he said illegal immigration from Bangladesh is a big problem. You disregard that. You want to run with the hare and hunt with the hound as well.
Yes. When a person is, no, let me complete. When a person is coming with proper documentation, he is not illegal. You are trying to imply something. Illegal is somebody who is crossing the border illegally. We are against illegal immigration. We are against illegal infiltration. Yes. But if a person comes through a port of entry with a proper document or a permission given by the government, then he is allowed.
Samujjal Bhattacharya, hearing this from Guwahati here today, we go to the age-old problem almost with a feeling as if nobody is aware of the problem of illegal infiltration. You hear our guest from Dhaka make a very strong point that she contests many of the figures of infiltration into India. There is a political backdrop to this. How are you viewing it from Guwahati?
Say, due to large scale of influx of illegal foreigners from Bangladesh, there is a threat to the identity of the indigenous people of Assam and northeastern region. And the Supreme Court of India in 2005 has said, due to large scale influx of foreigners from Bangladesh, there is an external aggression and internal disturbance in the country. There is an external aggression and internal disturbance in our country. It's very clear. It is stated by the apex court of the country. The Guwahati High Court has said that the illegal Bangladeshis had entered into Assam illegally. They had entered their name in the electoral roll, and they are the kingmaker they became the kingmaker in Assam. It's stated by the Guwahati High Court. Now the figures we have heard about the statement given by the panelists. In 2004, the government of India had stated in the floor of the parliament that the illegal Bangladeshis had entered into the country, 57 lakhs in West Bengal, 50 lakhs in Assam. It is not my statement. It is not your statement. It is a statement of the government of India in the floor of the parliament. Now Narendra Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister had said, all illegal Bangladeshis, they must go back to their own country. Now we want that these commitments should be implemented in true spirit. And there should not be no visa policy. Rather, there should be a very strict policy. The government of India should adopt a policy so that all illegal Bangladeshis, including the fundamentalist group residing in Assam and Northeast, they should be evicted from the soil of the...
Atul Kumar Anjan, no, 1 second. If the facts are so clear, why has government after government in India done nothing, Samujjal Bhattacharya? Also a point for us to consider. I will let our guests from Bangladesh, Ms. Zamam, respond to you, but I want Atul Kumar Anjan, Gaurav Bhatia and RSN Singh also to come into the debate. You heard the point. Please respond to that perspective from Guwahati. Atul Kumar Anjan and Gaurav Bhatia. First, Mr. Anjan.
Mr. Arnab, this is a very serious issue. But at the same time, the people of India wants very lively relation, good neighborly relation with the Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, a lot of political and social turmoil has taken place, and it takes place quite often. There are forces, those who are anti-India forces. There are forces, those who are bent upon to create mischief in that particular country. There are forces, those who initiate a canard against India and hatred against India. I think that much situation is not in India. But we have seen, I had been there many times, I have seen, but there are progressive people. There are people, those who have not forgotten the role India has played in 1971 war. And that because of that, the Bangladesh came into existence. And the contribution we have made, the people and the goodwill which we enjoy. We love people of Bangladesh, and I remember the people of Bangladesh are very close to Nazrul Islam music, and they are very fond of Ravindra music also. And the Indian people in this Bangladesh side, they cannot live without Ravindra and Nazrul Sangeet. So this is the bond and friendship between two countries, and I think our relation is historical relation, cultural relation, linguistic relation. We should think over very seriously when we articulate our policies, whether it is Ministry of External Affairs, whether it is Ministry of Home Affairs. So we should keep into the tradition, but at the same time, illegal people should not.
You're not taking a position on this,
Bangladesh,
Mr. Anjan. You're walking that middle path. You're walking that middle path of our political uncertainty. You can't have it both ways.
Should I walk with the AK-47? Should I walk with the AK-47?
No, certainly not. But you should walk with clarity on where you stand, because the debate on whether India's internal security issues are being linked up with our foreign policy has gone on for far too long.
Peace and tranquility has to remain between the two countries. Between the two countries. And our relations are very, very peaceful relations.
What's happening is
sort of the policy.
No, but Mr. Anjan, today, if you consider it, what is happening is that you have overpromised and underdelivered.
When it comes to international relations.
Yes. Yes, Gaurav.
May I, Arnab?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Arnab, I would like to say this, that especially when it comes to international relations, there should be a crystal clear policy and there should be no room for confusion. Now, for Bangladesh, they are neighbors and we hold them in high esteem. I would say that if the government earlier, Mr. Shinde, when he proposed certain measures to the country of Bangladesh, what has drastically changed now that suddenly the BJP is changing its stand? I would only say this, that first of all, they should also examine why and for what reasons Mr. Shinde made a certain statement, and why should that statement be changed now? Are there compelling reasons or not? Because if this is not done, first of all, the friendly nation would not see us in good light, and secondly, I think within the country also, we would be out of sync. So it is important that for all international measures that we take, be it Pakistan or Bangladesh or any other country, they should at least try to build a consensus within the country, and then when they approach the foreign nation, they should be sure of their foreign policies. Here what we are seeing is that the two departments also are not in sync. And secondly, even when we had a dialogue with Pakistan, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, there was not even a combined press brief to give an outline of what the discussion was. And I think it is very important that governments might change, but the policy of the country should not drift from east to west just because there has been a government change.
Really, I don't understand this.
Security concern is well taken by all parties within the country, but there shouldn't be sudden drifts of international policy.
Actually, it is a point to be made. After all, RN Singh, I don't understand why in the run-up to the elections, Mr. Narendra Modi, from all his election speeches repeatedly continued to say that we are not, going to allow free entry to people to take our country over, to have free borders. He took a very strong position, especially in the campaign in Bengal. He took an extremely strong position against infiltration from Bangladesh. And now suddenly we are seeing the seesaw. Sushma Swaraj goes soft, Rajnath Singh goes hard.
But isn't it?
Yes, Ms. Zaman. Ms. Zaman wants to come in after.
Mr. Goswami, isn't these two issues are being sort of mixed together, that people who are moving between the borders illegally, as Indian government is claiming and Bangladesh government has always denied, and people who actually want to go to India or from India want to come to Bangladesh for legitimate reasons, and they want a less hassle-free, easier time, which consumes less time, and where we are not harassing elderly people who are probably going for medical reasons. That kind of open access do between each countries. Aren't these two different things? I don't know why we are talking about illegal immigrants.
The point that you make, Ms. Zamam,
this visa-free regime is about people who want to go legally.
No. The point that you make, Ms. Zamam, I'll let RSN Singh, who is a security expert, answer that question. The information that I have is that even among those people who entered India legally, Bangladeshis have been repeatedly found to be overstaying in India beyond what is permitted to them in the visa. And the most number of foreigners each year who are overstaying in India are from Bangladesh, and there are statistics that we have from the government which we have therefore to rely by. It's therefore not a good index to allow an opening of policies.
If that is true, then the kind of bureaucratic manpower and the bureaucratic hour that is given and spent in the Bangladesh end could actually be spent in the Indian end, if that is actually the case.
It's a good suggestion, but it doesn't build a case for the easing up of visa norms.
The flow of business and what Indian government is trying to get in this region, this will probably be the path they will go eventually.
You see,
and it is what I take away from it is that Foreign Ministry or the External Affairs Ministry has already got to that. The rest of the government needs to come on board.
No, I don't think it's as easy as that. This issue of illegal immigration into India is a very strong issue.
History of
an issue with strong
Bangladesh relationship, definitely.
I think the problem is that of over-promising and under-delivering. I mean, we needn't have promised an easing up of visa restrictions in the first place and then realize that you can't do it. RSN Singh, what's going on in your view? How should the government handle it? And what do you build of the case being built by a guest from Dhaka today?
No, on this eve of Sushma Swaraj's visit, may I ask my honored guest from Bangladesh to take a message from this common man from India that we are thankful for all the sensitivity shown to our interests, concerns, and our security imperatives. We understand the need to reciprocate, but let's divorce this from this illegal immigration issue. It is a problem, and it is a problem. I mean, there is no debate in India as to whether it is there or not. The debate is only about the quantity, and this is something which knocks at the bottom of our very basis of our nation state. So therefore, the proposal to exempt visa for people below 18 years and above 65, it will only compound the illegal immigration problem. After all, people who will be below 18, I mean, who is coming to India? It is the youth which is coming in search of jobs. So it beats the very purpose. The second point I would like to say is that, look, it is very much desirable that we should have a easing of visa regime. I am sure with the kind of economic development that you are making within, say a decade or so, this should be entirely possible. But this is not the appropriate time. Please appreciate this and please de-link these two issues.
Well, we need to de-link the issues at home as well. We need both the Congress and the BJP to agree that Congress governments and BJP governments have repeatedly acknowledged that illegal immigration is a big problem. I take a 60-second break, only 60 seconds, and I'm back on the other side on this debate.